We are having sort of a split fight. They are split between the dragon and the fight. They should just take the fight at this point.
Did they know the Twitch is here? Twitch is going to spray and pray. Think he's going to be able to kill the Mordekaiser? Surely? Dead. Nice, there it happens.
Brazil
look where the Twitch is. Look where he is, though. He's going to kill this Ari easily. They just don't know he's there.
Killing off screen.
Yeah, for real. It's going to go down. Mel here, Caitlin's going to try and work the rest of the fight. But again, the Twitch comes from nowhere. He's crazy.
For the side, we're not going to see G4 go right in. The ult comes up, the Cataclysm comes out. They're all fighting in the middle. Not as caught in the trunk somehow. The Superman Deathhawker does come out and they end up getting knocked back. However, Olaf is on that backline, taking a lot of damage. Sevier will fall, Jinx will fall. But this Olaf, he's taking them all back.
He just want to be for them. Okay, naturally, I guess.
Safety. Jinx is on the other side of this wall. If they can keep, I was gonna say, if they can keep him safe. Okay, he went hella aggressive there. He's gonna get 2 kills. He's gonna go for the 3rd kill. He's gonna go for the 4th kill. Help the best stall is Penta. Quadra kill here for Cookie. To be fine here. Meanwhile, Zeus is gonna be fighting Svaros on the top side, and that's gonna be a no! Victor stole the Nash.
Oh my god. But the difference between not going to be enough because he comes back around for the drive-by. Bloody, that's going to be a hell of a clip.
It's like it's more of a rare occasion if it does happen. Just like a 3-man Bard ult coming out. Holy moly, in goes Neela as well. Look at the 4-man pull. Holy moly, the cutters are absolutely getting slaughtered and getting sent to the butchers. Clean ace.
Below on gold, it's going to be really hard for you to do the Baron here. Shreds your resistances. And we see 5DK are wrapping around. They're going to have to leave it, but it's on 3K. That means 5DK can just start it. It's very close to being stolen. They're going to just take this. Red team do get it. That's so unfortunate. And now the team fight begins. And JP's in the wrong place. He's going to get collapsed on. What can they even do here? Quay's going to run. Sejuani's just going to watch his AP carry get popped. And he just has to run behind the turret and pray.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to MiniLCS Winter Open 2026. This is week 2, day 3 of the group stage. And today we have Hardstock Heroes. We have, as you saw on the title screen, we have 5 off-roll versus Fruit Maxes. Now, this is a live game. This isn't any replays, it's a live game. We also may have a game after. We'll see, depending on if this is a 2-0. We can go straight into a Weenie Hut live game. But we'll hold off on that for now. For now, I'm going to send you over to the casters. But before I do, I have to remind you, you are on the one and only EU Production channel. EU Production team. And that is, of course, the League of Shut Up. Now today, to cast this live game, we have your host, your Lord and Saviour. We have Day Zero, and with him, we have a caster from the past, from the summer tournament. And I'm not sure if he was playing yesterday in the live game. I don't know. Someone will tell me, or they'll say when I go over to them. We have your boy Sai. So, gents, welcome.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am here with a busted up throat, so I apologize for the coughing in advance. Jack, how are you today?
I'm good. I got the cast-in blanket with me. My body's ready. It's cold out here, so we gotta stay cozy up in these streets. But just to clarify, Aaron, it's a different Sai. So Sai has not actually played in MiniLCS competition since I think 2016 or something. He hasn't played a single. I've been bugging him to get back in the game, but you know he
Listen,
especially now that we're fearless, I don't think we stand a chance. Yeah.
As a one trick, Like, I'm not going through playing 6 unique champions. Nah. Like, I enjoy playing Viego and the occasional Jarvan. If those 2 are banned, the game is just not fun. But that doesn't mean that I don't know a thing or two. So I'm happy to come here and talk about the champion matchups, my favorite bit. I hope give the wonderful insight and information to these matchups that we're going to be having.
For sure. So we have Fruit Maxers versus 5 off roll at the moment. That is, if we look at the group, how the grouping is paired. So this is, I don't know if you've caught much of the group so far, but this is the group my team is in. So currently it shapes out in first place is Dillamond Esports, which is, hey, it's my team, let's go, with 2-0. So I think depending on how this game plays out, we will lock playoffs. In second place currently, and you know, hot off our heels is Fruit Maxers. They're at 1-0 right now. If they win this game, then both Dillamond Esports and Fruit Maxers will lock playoffs. Then in third place, currently on 0-1, is 5 off roll. So 5 off roll lost to Dillamond Esports last week. It was the first game was fairly clean, but then the second game, 5 off roll really had a good fight. They got really fed with Cold Knife on the Diana in the jungle, and yeah, I think the only reason they ended up losing it is because the game went quite late, and we got very lucky with a couple clutch kind of picks where some people were just caught out of place and we were able to capitalize. Then we got one big team fight and the game was just kind of over. So I think that 5 off roll are definitely one of the stronger teams in our group. And then Fruit Maxers, for my money, Aaron, did you want the draft link on Discord? Because I've sent it to both of your league accounts. Okay. My bad. I sent it to your main one, thinking it was going there, and then you said draft link, and I sent it to the other one, assuming you needed it for that one. But alright, never mind. My bad, guys. My bad. Skill issue on my part. But as I was saying, Fruit Maxers, for my money, are probably. I think it's a toss-up on whether or not our team can beat them or not. I think mechanically speaking, they are probably the best hands in the tournament. So he isn't going to be present for this game, but they have Lefteris in the top lane, who historically is literally coming off of a finals performance from last Sweatlord brackets finals. So Jesus. Summer of 25, he was in the finals of the strongest bracket that we have. And they only lost that by 1 game, so he's definitely a strong one. Then they have Shige, who's a really good, really value pick jungler. He is only low emerald, but having played against him in the past, he's definitely, I think he punches above that weight. They have Curse of Ra in the mid lane, formerly Hermes or Misko Shogun. He is the second place all-pro mid laner for Emerald bracket last year. So yeah, again, even though he's only being counted as low plat, I think he punches well above that weight. And then their bot lane is Z-Man, who was a jungler in Sweatlord bracket last split, but has decided to off-roll and come down into Hardstuck. And Paper Knight, who's a returning name as well. He missed last summer, but Winter 25, he was, I believe, on Motorola Esports, who placed 4th. So he's definitely well known for playing the kind of engaged champs, trying to get, the kind of like your Leona, your Rel type champions. That's kind of his kind of wheelhouse, Nautilus type stuff, Poppy. I think my brain says probably 2-0 to Fruit Maxers, but I could see a world where 5 off roll maybe take a game. I think if they win, they're going to win through their jungle. I think that Cold Knife is a very capable player. He is a Rengar one trick, but he has played, he used Diana to great effect against Dillamond Esports last week. I don't think that their loss was primarily on him, but he was a large reason of why they got ahead. And so if they can do the same thing again, Shige has, funnily enough, quite a similar champion pool to me. So we're probably going to see some of the same kind of picks come out, some of the stuff like the Javas or the Zinjal or the Trundle. Speaking of, we have here the bans, so picks and bans even. So let's have a look at these team comps and see how we feel about it. I'm going to assume, even though the logos are wrong, they are yesterday's logos. Aaron's slacking. And don't forget, if you have a Twitch stub, put the NA production emote in the chat for me. Love for that.
So
but yeah, I believe it's Fruit Maxes on blue here.
So one thing I'm going to say is that if I'm casting this, it's going to be a 2-0 game. Like I still have not to this day cast a game where it's gone to the maximum amount of games here. So is this confirmed? Is this the draft that we have?
Yes.
Because
do we know what the missing pick is? The missing pick is Vex. No, sorry, no, it's Viego. Okay, cool. Ooh, Viego for Cold Knife. That is an interesting one. Okay. I don't dislike it. No. I mean, I can see that the stage, yeah, the stage 2 Viego ban is okay. Hold up. All right. Well, we're in the champion select, so I can see. Yeah, they did pick Viego. So they picked Viego, and they didn't have a 5th ban. So it seems like something has gone wrong in their champ select here. But it is what it is. We know. You know, behind the scenes, we know that R3 was a Viego pick. So run me as a Viego one trick. You are well equipped to tell me how you feel about this Viego pick into that enemy team comp, because they have a Nivea mid, they have the Braum, they have the set. I think it might be. I mean, the best target obviously would probably be to get onto the Yunara, right? But yeah, run me through it.
So I mean, here as a Viego one trick, right? Like, you're loving a lot of these targets because you transform into Diana and Nivea set, you're most likely going to get the next reset easily. You get into the Yunara and Braum, and there's like potential if you're with someone, which most of the times as Viego you will be with someone. One thing to pay really close attention to here is that there is a Vex with this Viego. So it's not just Viego hyper carrying, reset carrying. We do have the Vex there with the synergy. We do have this brilliant bot lane combination of Nico Misfortune bringing in this heavy team fight, sort of like this almost baby wombo combo between the two of them, right? I say baby wombo combo, it is actually a wombo combo. But the thing is, like, when you have such a strong engage in the bot lane, like, these dragon fights are going to be devastating. There's going to be so much potential. That's obviously me being very biased as a Viego player. If we look at it from the other side, we have very tanky people. Set, Braum, Nivea, Diana. They're not obviously traditional tanky champions, but once again, these champions, they stack HP. These champions, there's a Braum there to deny the misfortune damage. There's a set that can pick up this Cassante, slam them into very squishy teammates. So it is going to come down to heavy execution. I'm looking into the matchups here, right? So we've got, let's break it down lane by lane. We've got set into Cassante, which, let me pull up a little bit of statistics. It's been a while since I've been pulling up statistics. That damn. But if we look into the, oh, sorry, losing my throat a little bit. If we look into the Set versus Cassante matchup, Set is indeed favored into this matchup, which once again, you know, Set is going to do well because of just the way he is, right? He's a duelist into a tank. When Cassante loses his health and tries to go all out, it's just... Set's got so much true damage, right? Like, this is the point there. In the mid lane, we do have a Nivea into Vex. Now, that's a very boring lane, going to be very farm heavy, favored in Nivea, because once again, a Nivea, all she wants to do is farm, right? Bot lane, it's entirely dependent on the supports here, right? Once again, like, Misfortune is going to be quite bully in this Yunara. And, you know, Misfortune Nico, very poke heavy lane, very bully lane. You know, Yunara and Braum not going to have much priority. Level 6, I feel like we're going to get a lot of early lead advantage in this bot lane. What's your thoughts, Jeff?
Yeah, I think that Yunara is probably primed here with the amount of frontline she has. I think that she's primed to carry. If how do I word this? I think that the kind of the dichotomy of this game is going to be, can Cold Knife get onto Yunara and kill her before they kill the Viego, right? Especially as we get towards the late game. Yunara is a very strong kind of hyper carry champion, super annoying with her ultimate and very hard to pin down. I do like the Pot Blossom bullet time combo, but I think it's less potent than other combos can be. So, you know, like if we do say MF Maokai or MF Leona, you know, the Nico is a little less prevalent than that, but I do like the Nico like purely for it being ranged, right? So she can still kind of get a lot of damage out, bully the kind of the Braum and the Yunara early from a distance. It should also be mentioned here that their support player is not their official support, and that's why they haven't got through their full bans. So they have had to substitute out their original support, who was called L9 Dishwasher, who has awkwardly missed back-to-back series here. So unfortunate there for 5 off roll. They replaced them with, I believe it's 24 cans of beer is their name, but it's in like Chinese symbols. Yeah, their top laner is also called 24 cans of Red Bull in Chinese, but I'm just going to call him Sun because he's been in previous tournaments. And I want to mention here that they've come out strong picking him the Cassante because he played previously, if we go back to summer of 25, he played in Tuba's Cowboys in the Weenie Hut Junior bracket, and the Cassante, I think, arguably was his cleanest champion when they put him top. He was not always the top laner for that team, but in the games they put him on Cassante, he performed heavily better than he had on any other champions. So I think him being on arguably one of his best champions and Fruit Maxers putting their mid laner in the top lane in Misco or Curse of Ra, and him being on the set, I'm not 100% sure how that lane goes, but I feel, you know, if Sun can't get it done on the Cassante, then I don't think that the rest of the series bodes well for him in the top lane. And then I agree with what you said for the Anivia and the Vex matchup. It's gonna be kind of a snooze fest. Having 2 health bars is just always kind of annoying for these kind of burst mages like Vex. Go on, say what you were gonna say.
Well, it's just like oops, sorry. Going back to the Cassante versus Set matchup, this is one of those ones where it is slightly favored for Cassante, so it's going to be, I mean, I say slightly, but literally talking about 0.4, right? So it is going to be a case of it can come down to skill expression. And the thing is, I'm not sure about the elo division between the 2 players, but once again, if I was in a tournament, and just if we're looking at matchup alone, I would rather be the Set, right? Because the Set, it's so much more generic value, right? It's like, who would you rather have mid lane? Like, would you rather have an Orianna or an Azir? You know what I mean? So that's how I'm looking at that.
I think that Set has more agency. I'll agree with that much. I think that in the early lane, he should be able to bully the Cassante a little bit. You know, he's also quite hard to gank, so we'll see whether or not the Viego puts any kind of pressure on that top side. I think both junglers in this game should realistically be pathing bot. I think that bot is, you know, the best place for Viego. You know, if he gets a successful gank there, he's getting 2 kills, which is, you know, they're really going to be looking for Cold Knife on the Viego to kind of, you know, kind of speed up the pace of the game. They want him to kind of grow out of control here, because Viego is one of those champions you can 1v9 on if you have the hands for it, and will be fun to see. I think a large responsibility here for Fruit Maxers, and namely Shige, is going to be to track the Viego, because if you make it hard for him to gank, he's gonna, you know, he's gonna have a hard time kind of getting a foot in here. But start the game off him. Z-Man is, he's caught out. It's a little bit the hubris of having the egg, right? You're like, nah, bro, they ain't gonna do nothing to me. I'm 2 health bars. I'm Anivia. I'm alright. And now he has to start his lane on 60% HP. Notably, chooses not to burn a pot here though, so just got to accept the health loss and keep it stepping.
That was... Oh, I mean, Anivia just instantly just equaled out that lane. Just wow.
Yeah, the double Q there.
That was...
I think the Anivia pick is interesting because she's very good. She's kind of like a Sivir in the sense that, like, it's hard to push without Baron into her past a certain point. Like she could just press R and then the wave is gone, and then she can do it on repeat. She's gonna probably build like a Rod of Ages or one of the tier items, or probably Archangel stuff, I imagine. And so she'll be able to use her ult whenever she needs to because it's quite a low cooldown, and just rinse waves in that late game kind of issue. But I want to have a quick look at the runes here, because we can see Electrocute in the mid lane for Z-Man on the Anivia. So I think that's partially how they equaled up that health bar discrepancy, right? Because it was Q1, Q2 auto attack. Oh damn, there's a third of your HP gone. So very much like a lane priority rune set there. We got Electrocute here for the Vex as well, but I think that's normal. I'm like pretty sure that Electrocute or Dark Harvest is the kind of go-to for a champion like Vex.
So
in terms of the other lanes,
one thing to point out, sorry to talk over you, one thing to point out is that Diana's actually started bot and path in top. This is something that we're both jungle mains, and we both said that path downwards. Now the thing is, FMX, they did actually have the information that Viego was starting top. So I'm very surprised because once again, Viego, to get this champion popping, he needs to get that first reset. And even though bot lane is prone to getting bullied, I feel like Diana should have been pathing bot, and they should have at least been open for the 3v3. Because once again, like, you've got Braum. Braum is incredibly strong early with this passive. It's a very dominating and suppressing passive. Speaking of dominating, Anivia is just putting numbers on this Vex.
Yeah, Chaos is having a really hard time in the lane. Down CS here, down HP. He's had to pop. They have both popped all of their pots, and we can see that Shige is floating here in the mid lanes, just waiting to see if anything actually happens. But yeah, good lane control here by Z-Man to actually kind of take control of the lane despite that poor level 1 that he had. So very good play there. What I wanted to say in regards to the jungle path thing is maybe the logic or the ethos for it was, okay, well, I want to avoid the Viego. I don't want to fight him. So I'm gonna path the opposite side of him, and hopefully if he tries to make something happen bot, as long as we're aware of it, as long as we're effectively tracking it, then they shouldn't die. But we have a flash burnt here for TB forecast. MF gonna have to flash out there, and I think 24 cans of beer doesn't actually have to get out with the flash. No, they did get the stun, but a heal came out, and there was enough extra HP kind of dissipate the play, and then we can see Shige there takes a reset.
Yeah,
not a great one though. That was a weird one.
So this has been really awkward for Diana. So what happened was, after Diana did the full clear, she hovered mid when Anivia was pushing forward, and then she took the scuttle crab. Viego saw this, or maybe just was decided to be greedy, and stole the raptors from Diana. So Diana's gone no raptors into golems, into reset, and as you can see, all she's done is got that glowing emote there, which once again, this Diana, this pathing is very sus to me, because Viego is just up like 2.5 camps here, and like he could just do dragon if he wanted. Like, you've got Nico MF with so much priority. He could have skipped the bottom quadrant, did dragon, and then gone back up. But perhaps is just really eager to get that level 6. Meanwhile, coming back into mid, there is a 10 CS gap there. Wow.
Yeah, close to 15 for the Anivia right now. So yeah, early control definitely in the way of Z-Man's. But ultimate's gonna come out here by both parties. I think there should still just be a solo kill. First blood here for Sun in the top lane. And we have another fight coming out here in the mid lane. Anivia gonna pop out immediately. Half health to Viego. Viego's gonna flash out, and he should be dead here. No way he isn't. Shige gonna get that kill. Second kill on the board here. And I think, yeah, there we go. Yeah, Chaos is gonna get out. Flashes the stun from Z-Man.
This This is so unfortunate because look at Viego's XP bar. If they would have, no offense to either of those players, but if they would have just locked in and blown up Diana, Viego would have hit 6, popped off, and then like that's all she wrote. Once again, the Anivia here is providing so much value through lane dominance that he's basically just evened out whatever this Viego has just done to Diana now. So like, good credit on this Anivia here.
Yeah, no, for sure. Z-Man is definitely commanding some big presence here in the mid lane on the Anivia. I believe it's a pocket pick of his because we saw it in the previous Fruit Maxes series. I don't believe we got to stream it, but it was a 2-0 for them over Jazz with Gas. And yeah, he did play the Anivia in, I think, game 2 to a fairly decent result. So, yeah, we can see he went for the blasting wand. He's got double ruby crystal and a mana crystal as well. So I imagine that's going into the Rod of Ages, right?
This is going into Rod of Ages. This is really interesting though. You've seen that the Anivia players actually skipped Tier of the Goddess. Normally you'll see these sort of tier Rod of Ages champions, Archangel sort of Rod of Ages champions. They'll normally get tier and then start to go Rod of Ages. But then when you're winning trades as hard as this and you still have egg, like, who cares? Like, build whatever you want at this point.
Oh, we have pings here by 5 off roll. They know Diana is on this Drake. I think Vex might be in danger though. A little bit of a trade here in the bot lane while Viego and Vex are going to go 2-man onto this pit. They're going to see if they can find the Diana.
Very low. There is level 6 misfortune here. Something to take note of. Vex
big trade though.
First reset.
Yeah, they're going to have to just give it. Yeah, nice. I saw the Diana and freaked out a little bit there, but yeah, no, Vex a little bit over aggressive, too far in, and I think Cold Knife might die here too. He's gonna use the invis to actually get himself to safety, but yeah, I think Vex, you know, Vex has kind of been getting pummeled in lane, and they saw an opportunity there, and they were like, let's go! A little too trigger happy, bounced right into their death there. But ultimately, though, I think still a good play here for 5 off roll, even if they overplayed their hand, you know? They coordinated, they 2-manned. Oh, gone.
Yeah, so this was fantastic, right? Vex was incredibly low there, right? Very dangerous situation. But then they blew up Diana, and once again, that decisiveness, they just had that on the Raptor fight. They could have easily been 2k up here. And once again, it's just like, this is the thing about League, right? It's really back and forth. You know, we're constantly having like almost this neutralizing of leads. Here, we're seeing like, once again, it's a 20 CS lead up on Anivia, but then it's a 20 CS lead for Viego. But then these kills are just balancing out. Saying that, Cassante in a very dangerous situation.
Yeah,
in a 1v3.
This is a 1v3. He's crazy with the damage though. Holy, he just kills the Diana like it's nothing, and now Set's gonna go down too. What can they do? Cold Knife, they're gonna snipe that kill, but that is a big lead generated there by Sun on this Cassante. I did harp on it a little bit in the Champions Select, but like, you know, it's one of his better champions, and he is really highlighting it here right now. The team have a 1k gold lead, and I mean, if you look at it, he has 996, now 1k of that 1k gold lead. So, and they've also partially here neutralized the lead that Z-Man had. So he, with all of this fighting, he hasn't been able to focus on CSing, and so Vex has caught up a little bit. You know, only 8 CS between them now. It's really only the kill that Z-Man has that's the main differentiator here in gold, because she was able to get a plate as well. So yeah, I think honestly good play here by 5 off roll in this kind of early game. They've got kills on the people they need. We've hit big item breakpoint for the Viego. He did just finish the Kraken Slayer here, so he's one of the few people on the map right now with a completed item. And they're probably going to look to abuse that in the next minute or so.
So many interesting things to talk about here. So what you're seeing here is that the Cassante went double chain vest, and he was able to 1v3 against 2 magical opponents. You'll see that Cassantes, they will rush resistances to get that empowered Q, sort of similar to how the Wind Brothers rush attack speed to get the reduced cooldown. Cassante is doing a fantastic job here, doing this wonderful trade, absolutely dodged the true damage there. Fantastic. Meanwhile, back in mid lane, going back to your point, this lead is starting to even out, because if you look at the XP, Vex actually has half a level lead. which once again CS down but levels up. Burning Flash, unfortunately, perhaps spoke to it a bit too soon.
She does have TP though, so she should be able to get back into lane quickly, but having to lose the TP like what, 90 seconds before the Drake? Yeah, is maybe not the best, but she actually opted not to leave. Confidence there by Kios.
And then the jungle, we have an entire level lead on the Viego. And like, as we see here now, like both junglers have spent their money. Viego's like 1/3 of an item up on Diana. Like, this Viego is just going to be, hopefully, the moment we see this Viego start interacting with this Misfortune Nico, it's just going to be Reset City. But unfortunately, we just haven't seen that yet. Meanwhile, speaking of bot lane, the team of FMX have been doing a great job. Meanwhile, Nivea chunking out Vex once again. Oh my lord.
Yeah, she literally just TP'd back to lane, by the way, so that is really rough for the Vex. She's gonna have to lose a lot of XP if she wants to get another reset here. Good fear though, but I'm pretty sure the egg is still active. Flash gonna come out there by Z-Man. Yeah, there we go. I think the flash was maybe a bit premature, but now luckily Diana is here to keep the egg safe. Protect your eggs, guys. Protect your eggs.
Once again, Viego on a jungle steal here there. He just went over and just knocked the Grump. Like, Diana's looking around. Diana's like really homeless right now. Just struggling to keep up with camps here at the moment. Like,
yeah, she's
going for 30 now.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Diana is sacking her camps to make sure that she's there for her lanes, but they aren't getting too much for it. Meanwhile, Cold Knife hasn't ganked too much, but he has been cycling his camps perfectly, and we see the commitment here of 3 members. I believe actually there should be a 4th nearby as well.
Oh, this is a pincer.
Oh, Set is TPing though. Yeah. Anivia gets the wall out. Okay, that's a big cooldown when that wall drops. Oh no, the miss of the flash and the stun. They still get it though, and now the resets are in. Alicento is going to get the kill here onto the Nico, and we see some flashes come out. They're looking to stun the Viego, but he's able to get out with his ultimate. But here is Cassante with the TP. Cassante is going to be looking to try and make something happen here. He does have all out, so we might see him start something. Meanwhile, Shige is just gonna solo the dragon here, and he has flash. He can't get out. They might look to fight this here. I don't know. This is kind of a messy fight, honestly. The rest of the team couldn't really join. It is going to be a 1-for-1 as we see Viego go down. Bullet Time is going to come out, and I think Vex is going to keep the MF safe here. Meanwhile, Cassante has just been 1v1ing the set on the other side of the map. TP here for Z-Man. He died earlier in the fight, and he made his way straight back, but there is a fear here, and he's going to go down a second time. He dies 2 times in the same fight. People used to flame me for that in a game we did 2 weeks ago, but you know what? I love to see someone else make that mistake. Welcome to the club, Z-Man. Welcome to the club. 2 deaths, 1 fight. It's a special place to be. It's both of his only deaths in this series so far, so you know. And after that fight is done, 2k gold lead here for 5 off roll. They are looking much stronger than I think I was anticipating.
What we're seeing here is that a lot of this lead is in the top lane. Like, we're seeing the 1k on the Viego. And we did see a bit of hesitation on these key ultimates like Moonfall and Bullet Time. Now, admittedly, Bullet Time does make a bit of sense that you're going to hesitate because you haven't seen Braum throw up the Unbreakable, which does make sense. But Diana was just, it seemed like Diana was very hesitant on using this Moonfall. Meanwhile, there is no hesitation on this Cassante doing these disgusting trades. Jesus Christ.
No, for sure. Sun is really making a show here of Cassavra in the top lane. Gonna knock him up and just
Like, look how low the cooldown this Q is. He's just like every
Oh, I think MF is dead though. That is a rough play there for the MF. Didn't have flash, didn't have exhaust. Didn't have no exhaust barrier even. And they're gonna have to feed that turret here over to Alicento. I wanna highlight Alicento is the highest MMR player here on Fruit Maxers in this AD carry position. So having him have the gold lead that he has is actually pretty big. and awkwardly there for the Vex. She threw herself in, but nothing to be gained. You know, it was a 3v1, so I think a little overzealous there on the attempt, and now we can see that I believe this is Nico coming in pretending to be Cassante. We got dual Cassantes coming in, but I don't think they catch anyone here.
So what we saw was a 2k gold lead has been completely flipped into a 1k gold lead from FMX, finally taking a gold lead in this game. And we're seeing that this came from the Yunara, which once again, like 300 gold from a kill. I don't know how much is the new towers now in this current season.
So I believe turrets, I don't think they inherently give gold now. I think it's just the plates, if I remember correctly, which is why all the turrets have plates. But I think they equate to roughly the same as they used to, which is about 1,000.
Got you.
Don't think the set makes out of this one alive. He might get to pop his W here, but he doesn't even. They get to spoon feed that one over to Cold Knife, who's got his second item here. Went for the Immortal Shield Bow, which I don't think that's normal, right?
No, yeah, it's not. Normally, you'll see Viego players go collect a second. The reason why is because with how Viego's kit works, Kraken is such a great damage item for him, as he does double on hits with his passive, and then the lethality plus the execution once again helps assist in that. Admittedly, this Viego, if Cassante is not there, Viego has been frontlining, so maybe this Viego feels like if Cassante is not there, which admittedly he hasn't been, minus the dragon fight, maybe this Viego thinks, okay, you know what, let me get the shield bow, let me frontline. And once again, shield bow is nothing to laugh at. It's like an extra, I think at this point in the game, it's an extra 300 health, which you're talking like, what? More breathing room to get the resets, more breathing room to heal through Conqueror, to have your teammates.
Nothing actually going to happen of it though. Flash gets burnt and we move on. But yeah, no, as you were saying about the Immortal Shield Bow, I don't dislike it, but I do worry that if he doesn't have the amount of damage he needs to kill the Yunara will just carry the game.
Absolutely.
She has tons of people in front of her. She has, you know, loads of peel options. Like Anivia can create massive amounts of space for her. Braum can create massive amounts of space for her. Set can make space. So it's going to be difficult here for the Viego to get on top of them, and when they do get on top, I don't know if the shield bow is enough damage. So, but they do have this massive front line in the Cassante, so they really need to abuse it and try and get in. And we see Diana here fighting the Viego, but the entire team here of Fruit Maxers make the inline. And that was just poor positioning, I think, by 5 off roll. Gonna now look how far away Viego is as the team fight actually starts. Pot Blossom's gonna come out with the bullet time, but bullet time gets stopped immediately by Braum's ult. And now Diana makes her way in. Viego is on the back line, but he's gonna get stopped by the wall, and his whole team is dead. There's nothing he can do. He just got put in a cuck chair by Z-Man, bro. That was crazy. Like.
That was so heartbreaking. So Viego, he could have Heartbreaker onto the Anivia, but Anivia does have egg back, so that's why he didn't choose to go for it there. But then this does go back to the shield bow argument, which once again is just like, shield bow hasn't popped. Shield bow is still available. Speaking of it, there it goes. Oh, Braum Flash, very ambitious here. You better hope you hit that Q.
No Winter's Bite there.
So unfortunately sort of, a dopamine sort of carrying through after popping the shield bow. That was really, really unfortunate there. That was, I wish I kind of got a replay of that team fight, because we did see Viego was just completely annihilating Diana there, which was what, like, admittedly, Viego is a full item, not a full item, sorry. Diana's like an item and a half. Viego was just 2 items. If Viego would have had Collector there, he would have just killed Diana. And if you kill Diana, then you QE onto the next person. That's it. Like, once again, I mentioned this in the Champions Select, right? Like, you kill Anivia, you kill Diana, you kill Set. They set you up, right? Because Diana, you QE and then you have R. So you've got 2 gap closers, right? You've got Anivia and Set, which is just like Anivia, you're basically a pick champion. Set, you've got the movement speed to run up to someone, plus the inherent movement speed from your passive. And Braum and Yunara, this specific Yunara is quite strong, so it'll be able to sort of run down someone. Meanwhile, we're on a pause here as I'm reading from the chat that Viego has a phone call.
Yeah, all the important reasons. Aaron, do we have a replay of that team fight so we could just quickly go back to that while we wait for this pause to chill out?
No, sadly, because of the spectator bug, and that is currently happening, and the fact that the replay account hasn't got anyone in the game.
Right. Okay.
That client couldn't join, and so no replays for game 1. For game 2 there will be, but game 1 sadly no replays.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, can we could use the timeline and go back, right? Or can we not because it's paused? Let's use the timeline. Archaic technology is about to be used, guys. We're about to go back in time and see that team fight.
Which team? The last.
I'm super curious to see this
the last one where it was 4v5 because they walled Viego out of the fight.
What time are we on?
I am super curious to see this because we did see a super hard engage on Nico that did go alright. We need to get the emblem remover and we get a chance. So Nico's going to engage. Viego's been pushed off here. Vex goes in. They're trying to burst down someone. Cassante. See, this is the problem with as Cassante, you all out just a bit too early because when you all out too early. Once again, before he died here, Cassante was 3-0-3, right? So there was so much... Once again, there was so much goodness there, right? There's so much, like, tanky stats. And when you're a tank champion, it's like, okay, now you need to hit me. Like these tank stats, I force pressure, right? But then he did it all out super early. And they were able just to kill him, and this is where I come back to. Admittedly, I was mentioning this in the Set versus Cassante bit, but this happened in the team fight where Cassante all out. I believe his max health drops to about 60% from 100, and then 60% is a lot more easier to kill than 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, sweet. We have returned to live. Let's get it.
Diego's off the phone. He turns out he still can't find a shoulder, unfortunately, so he's just going to go around and kill some people in this room. Objective we're looking at. I mean, Baron is up. I don't see a way where anyone's going to take it because
no. The next team fight will dictate who gets control of the Baron. Whenever we get around to it. But yeah, I think right now everybody's just resetting, getting their next items in order. We do have 2 items on the following. So we have Riftmaker finished for Diana. We have the Archangels finally finished for Z-Man. We have Infinity Edge here for the Yunara, who is 3.5k gold up on the MF. And then just the Bandle Pipes here for the Braum, which has been a very strong item recently. I've been seeing loads of people build it because the gold efficiency is insane on that item.
Vandal Pipe has been so good. We're seeing new supports. We're seeing Shen, Trundle, Jax. We're seeing all of these champions that are normally bruiser champions at the top lane that can that have good setup of bringing in these picks. Now, one thing to point out here is that Yunara is the first person to 3 items. And none of them are attack speed, so this Yunara is gonna clap like Jesus. That's lethal tempo, so much rundown potential. Like if you can't get onto this Yunara is gonna back to front blow up everyone.
Yeah, no, I agree. She looks really dangerous right now. She is definitely ahead of the curve when it comes to the rest of the players in the game right now. And even though we do have 2 items completed here on the Cassante, we have the Jack Show and the Iceborne Gauntlet. I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Inara can just still shred him if given time, you know. Take a couple seconds longer than everybody else, but she'll still be able to do it given the time. And unfortunate there for Sun, he didn't know they had vision in that bush, and so he was sitting on a ward and eats about, what, 700 damage for his troubles. And then they lose the pink that they had in there anyway. So that's really not that great for him. He has... You know, he built a lead for himself in the early game that's still there right now. He's still 1.4k up, but in these team fights against the Anivia and against the Inara, he has had a really hard time making that gold lead meaningful. In that one dragon fight, he definitely was meaningful, but ever since then, it's been kind of hard for him. Like you mentioned, he popped all out a little too early in that big team fight, and from here on.
Like, this is really unfortunate, right? Because this misfortune pick is getting heavily cucked by Braum. And so, like, there isn't this explosive team fight that leads into the Vex Viego resets, which, you know, we're not seeing. Diana's not getting any value, right? Diana and Set have really been non-factors here, right? This has mostly been like the Anivia Unara show, and like Braum has been doing fantastic work. Like once again, he's living that 00 lifestyle with 10 assists, but like going ahead, like FMX are looking super favored here in this current first game. And with Viego right now, Viego's going into LDR, which, you know, this is going to make up for the lack of lethality that Collector would have offered. But like at the same time, if you go back over that first fight where he was killing Diana, the Collector would have killed Diana there. It would have. And like that could have been the difference between that initial fight. 3k gold up for FMX. Dragon is up and available. This is the third dragon, one dragon apiece.
Yeah, I think right now with how much money is on the Inara, unless they get a pick onto her, I don't think you really want to fight it. We do have TPs on both top laners as well, so they can join the fray if they need to. But with the control in the area being on the side of the Fruit Maxers, and having the Anivia, who again great at controlling a space, and I don't know. Okay, never mind. For a second now, I thought that was genuinely the Vex. Yeah, I was like, why have you walked it? I was watching it like, no, not like this. But luckily, they thought better of it. Oh no, the TP was stopped there. Set stopped it.
What was the Cassante TP?
He was trying to get in, but they need to give this objective up now. They cannot fight it with Viego being like 20% HP. Yeah.
This might just be a slow choke out from Fruit Maxers here. Like,
I think I agree. I think it's going to be a difficult one. And Diana here getting a free jump straight onto the Nico. Nico can't even get out.
Nico doesn't even pop ultimate here. Diana actually goes super aggressive. Wow.
Holy. Genuinely works out for them though. They should get a return kill here. That's very dangerous territory for you both to be in. The Cassante blocked that there, and they're gonna lose their inhib turret for it though. I don't think this is worth it. No, surely. They get the kill onto Set, but how much money is Set worth at this point? Meanwhile, they lose inhib mid. You know, we cracked what, we're 27 minutes in the game near enough, so now is the prime time for these guys to start looking towards that Baron. There's no Drake up for 4 minutes, so there's nothing else to play for, and as super minions start to crack into the base, yeah.
I feel very lost with this Cassante and Viego at the moment, because, like, admittedly, I don't know what the voice comms are like, but as a Cassante that has a 2k gold lead, like, why do you TP in front of a Set? Like, kill the Set.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
nothing is going
I mean, I
on with that
understand
dragon.
why he wants to be in the fight because he's like the biggest frontline for their team, right? But you know, if you TP anywhere near someone who has some form of hard CC, you run the risk of them finding you and stopping the TP. And then now that's just a free TP advantage because you got nothing for yours. You're on cooldown. His is still up. He could just go and join the fight now if he can, you know. And we do have Viego is floating around Sun right now, trying to make it so that he can play around his strong member, but they try to dive there and it doesn't really work out, and they're giving away the Baron here just to try and kill Curse of Ra, and this is, I think, gonna be really rough, you know, now that the Baron empowered minions are here. Curse of Ra hit the emote as well, this guy. He's even doing this, he's doing the sit-ups. Not like this. He's got his asshole open in this game, but you know, it doesn't matter if his team's gonna carry him. He's having a good time.
Like, once again, set is 0 and 5, and so this is set, right? But this is getting the value of a proxy singed almost. Like, I feel like this is tilt getting to the players of Cassante and Viego, because once again, it's just like Viego's 2k gold ahead. Sorry, not Viego. Cassante's 2k gold ahead. Like, Cassante should be running down this set, and multiple people need to be answering set. Instead, just not value, not much value.
Crazy Diana angle there.
Once again, Diana is just completely just getting this value, getting this reward. Like, she's abusing the new Dusk and Dawn item, and even through exhaust is just...
Oh, big shutdown here though. Viego, he got straight onto the onto Alicento and was able to get the kill here, and now Anivia is trying her best to make sure that they get the kill here, but they're gonna get popped into the egg, and I think they should still get this kill here. Yeah, shutdown here. That is a second big shutdown. And they're gonna try and run down the Braum as well, but Curse of Ra is getting to push for free here on the bot lane. And yeah, damn, GG. They lose a second inhib here. Like, don't get me wrong, look at the gold lead for the Viego now. That was really big. It allows him to just buy, I think, what did he even get off of it? I can't actually see.
He finished LDR.
Yeah, finished up the LDR, but yeah, I think he's... It's hard to say if it's worth it. I think it's better than the game ending. Let's put it that way. It's better than the game ending.
So, like,
you know, getting some gold on him is big, but, you know, we lost so much for it.
So the gold lead has reduced down. Like, they did just recoup about, I think, maybe that was about 3k gold back. But, like, you're still 5k gold down. Like, minus the Nico ult in front of Dragon, I don't feel like I've seen Nico ults. Like, I haven't seen a Nico ult minus that Dragon. I've only seen an MF solo ult. Like, and I mean, like, once again, credit to the MF. It is into a brawl.
Oh no! Oh no! The Nico just caught there by 4. You know, we have 15 seconds, give or take, until the Drake is up, and now with your support down, again, I don't think you can contest it. I think now we just have to shove waves, and I mean, Viego's hovering as if they want to try their best to maybe contest it, maybe try and steal it, but they eat a Winter's Bite and have to preemptively flash just to keep themselves safe. And now Anivia, Diana, and Braum as a 3-man unit can just make their way straight onto that Drake, and what can they do but, you know, just let it happen here. It's going to be Soul Point handed over to Brute Maxers, and we see pings come out on the top side that Curse of Ra is going to be trying their best here to try and get onto that last, the last standing inhibitor turret, and the team are coming through. They do have a wave pushing through mid. They're going to come over. Curse of Ra got a flash here onto the Eddie carry. TB forecast gonna get exploded. Meanwhile, Yanara just destroys Nico for the 7th game here, and now she's completely enabled. She just goes straight in, kills the Vex. They still kill the Cassante, big triple kill as well. Now Viego's on his own, and Viego's gonna get popped, and this is gonna be the game handily over to Fruit Maxers. And while I like some of the stuff that happened at the beginning of this game, I think that some of the mid-game decision-making by 5 off roll was really difficult. And we see they FF here, which I believe they did in Series 1 as well. Series 1 Game 1, they also FF to just quicken the end. But Yeah, GG to Fruit Maxers. Move to the next game and see how we can adapt, because at least these champions aren't available for the next series, right? So I think that's probably a win for Kios, because that Anivia was really oppressive to him in the mid lane.
It was, and it's so interesting because once again you look back at that game, right? And then you're just thinking, okay, so what could have the Vex team could have done differently? And it's just, once again, Misfortune and Nico did not find any value. Like, we only saw one notable Nico ult and one notable Misfortune ult. Which, once again, as I've said multiple times, the Misfortune has a reason because of the Braum, right? But then, the Cassante is just like, you're winning top. And it is frustrating, right, that like you are the person with the 2k gold lead and you need to push that into your team. But then if you push that into your team, like you know, like the Cassante, it's not like a Malphite or a Darius, or like it's not a super great team fighter, right? Like it's not gonna hard carry. And I think maybe in the voice comms, like someone must have said like, Cassante, we need you for this, we need you sort of thing. And I just think that maybe the Cassante just got baited. I really feel like the Cassante should have just kept killing set, kept pushing towers, have multiple people deal with Cassante. You know, you've got to send 2 people up there at least, and then you then do something on the other side of the map, because once again Cassante was tearing through the map, and once again you've got Nico and Misfortune, and you only have one dragon there, and I mean, admittedly they only had one ban, right? They could only ban Gnar. And so maybe the lack of the band, I don't know why they didn't have 4 other bands. I don't know if there was a restriction there because they had a sub out. But just once again, look at the gold graph. The gold graph just says it all. That was a really brutal game, and it generally comes across that Cassante's tilted. Viego seems a little bit tilted because there was 2 times where he had to flash, and he just had to flash from bad positioning, right? Like he didn't even Heartbreaker. He did have Heartbreaker available. He didn't Heartbreaker over walls. He flashed over walls because of his poor positioning. And it's just, once again, with that mixing without the Collector, and he went Infinity Edge 4th, which once again, it's not a troll or anything. Infinity Edge is viable on Viego, but it's just like, you're gonna go, your build path is Kraken Slayer, Shield Bow, LDR, Infinity Edge. Like, that doesn't really make that much sense. Like, if you're gonna go Shield Bow, then why not follow that up with GA? And if you're gonna go Infinity Edge super late, what, you're trying to make up for the lack of damage that you have because of the Shield Bow? Like, it was very confusing, and credit to where credit's due on the times of Fruit Maxes, where it's just like the Anivia and the Yunara, they just got so much great value. And I think there was a lot of key things that we may have missed from Braum's side, because once again, I can't remember what Braum ended on, but I think Braum ended maybe on like 0-0-13 or something like that. Wow, just going into game 2. Once again, if you've been watching MiniLCS for a while, you know if I'm here, it's going to be a 2-0, and I really hope that's not the case. I hope 5 off-roll will be able to bounce back from this and just chalk it up to just bad game. But I'm very eager to see what's going to happen in the second game.
Yeah, so I think moving into game 2, 2 things or 2 particular picks that we don't need to worry about here because of the fact that it's Fearless Draft is that we don't have to worry about the Anivia out of Z-Man again. So I'm not 100% sure. I believe we've seen him play the Anivia and we've seen him play the Twisted Fate. I don't know what other kind of mages that he plays that might have as much control around kind of neutral objectives as the Anivia, but if there are any, I'm not 100% sure for him. But at least, you know, the Anivia is out. We don't need to worry about that. But on the other side, for 5 off roll, the Cassante is out. And Cassante is by far and away Sun's best champion. So I don't think he'll have as much impact on whatever he plays in the top lane next game. So, you know, it's gonna be difficult, I think, for 5 off roll to come back here. But we're gonna cut to a quick break, see whether or not we can get draft for game 2 up and running. Thank you. We'll see you all in about 3 minutes.
See you in 3 minutes.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for game 2 here of Fruit Maxers versus 5 off roll. Had a couple minutes to stew on that series there. How are we feeling, Sai? What do you want to see going into game 2 here?
In game 2, like, I'm really curious to see Z-Man's pick here, because Z-Man put on such a strong performance for his team, and we did see really great work from the Yunara as well, so I'm very curious to see what the mid lane and bot lane picks will be, as I feel like these are going to be the key things for their victory. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Cassante being gone now, once again, this is the thing with Fearless Draft. We're going to see 10 brand new unique champions. One of those champions not being Rengar, as that champion will probably get banned again. So, you know, you've lost Cassante. The Vex didn't perform well, and it looks like there is going to be a mid gap. So once again, I'm very curious to see how they're going to try and reduce the bleeding. Are they going to try and bring in a Malzahar, bring in a Lissandra maybe? In the bot lane, that Nico was just, once again, Misfortune has a reason why she couldn't do Misfortune things, and Nico does not. So like, I'm very worried on the side of the support in the mid lane. I feel like there's going to be a lot of bleed out in terms of gold and pressure. Once again, what we saw in the first game, I think we're probably going to see a repeat in the second game.
No, I agree. I think that the bot lane got pretty heavily diffed. I think it was kind of hard for them to deal with. Speaking of, actually, can we cash out the predictions, Aaron? Have you already done it? Oh, okay, my bad. I just see in the Twitch chat, most recent person just says, "Where's my money?" So I was like, all right, shit, my bad. But yeah, no, I think that the bot lane had a really hard time. I think that the Nico had a hard time being useful. When we described it in Champ Select, I was like, oh, the Nico will be able to bully the Brawlman lane, and you know, it shouldn't be too bad if they can put them behind in the early game. But the problem is that they didn't. And I mean, to be fair, that's not so surprising considering the rank differences. Like 5-off roll, their bot lane is their weaker side, so they have I believe high plat, low emeralds in the AD carry position, and then a substitute player who is silver 1 in their support role. Meanwhile, Alicento in bot lane is low master, and Paper Knight is low diamond. So yeah, definitely a difficult lane for them. So the expectation shouldn't be for them to win lane, but you know, even given the advantages, they weren't able to really take advantage of those. So what can you really do? And then the top side, like we said, I think Sun did a really good job of putting down Curse of Ra, but it just didn't manifest into enough because Yunara got so ahead. And the Viego, while the early game went really well for him, he was able to kind of pinch camps away from the Diana, who was spending a lot of time hovering lanes and trying to protect people as opposed to getting herself ahead. When we got to those team fights, the impact was really more on the Diana. Like the Diana was able to, especially in those later game fights when they were already ahead, she was able to pop priority targets like the MF, like the Nico, and you know, even some super aggressive plays by Shige where they were like in between 2 turrets and just smoking people.
Well, once again, so the Diana player there were sitting on the new Dusk and Dawn item, which is performing super well, and then they bought Zhonya's, so that's why they bought Zhonya's. They didn't need to use it, which admittedly was the insane thing there. Going into this second game, I was just thinking maybe if Viego Cassante swap out for something like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Elise Renekton sort of duo style of champions where it is just like this heavy rinse repeat carry sort of potential, but maybe like a top jungle combination. I don't know if like maybe, well, they can't take Diana Yasuo because Diana's gone from the other draft, but I don't know, maybe there could be a top jungle combination that could possibly 2v8, but we would have to see in Champion Select.
Yeah, no, hopefully we get into Champion Select pretty soon. But yeah, when we get into Champ Select, hopefully we'll be good. I will be interested to see what amendments they make into the draft. So it's gonna be an interesting one for sure. I hope to see some signs of life out of 5-off roll. I think I'm noticing a pattern on their team, which is that they're actually quite good in the early game, right? They get leads, like when they faced us. So when they faced Dillamond Esports last week, they were, they had like big lead in top and they had a big lead in jungle in game 2, but their kind of concise decision making in that mid to late stage is just not quite there. And so we find time and time again here that they are supremely struggling to actually, you know, lock up the wins here, because when it gets, you know, down to brass tacks, they just can't finish it.
Have they swapped sides for this, or is this the same sides?
No, it's staying on red side here for 5-off roll so that they can get counter pick, I suppose.
Yeah, so we saw the Rengar ban straight away, which once again we know that Ice Cold's not going to be getting that Rengar. Echo, which this is going to be on the Diana player, which once again another Dusk and Dawn abuser here. so not surprised in the slightest. I'm expecting probably jungle ADC pick here. We'll see.
I imagine so. That's probably an Echo jungle here for Shige, but it could be flexed into the mid lane for Z-Man, to be fair.
Most likely jungle Dusk and Dawn.
Yeah.
Once again, Shige did
another
really
one of the another Dusk and Dawn abuser type champion, right?
Yeah, essentially. Talon, once again, another champion that can get flexed. I would be surprised if this is jungle. This doesn't. Once again, Ice Cold seems more of like a conqueror, sort of like constant, like sort of DPS sort of person. Which, I mean, if it is Talon, then we'll see how he goes with it. Going in and out. We are waiting for the second pick here. Xayah coming through. So, okay. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Let's see what they're going to answer back with. I don't know people's champions pools, but
the Talon pick is an interesting one though. But so again, it's very similar to the Rengar in the sense that its whole job is to be able to pop one carry. And well, of picking a carry that's poppable, there's the Varus there. And then, yeah, we'll see here for TB Forecast. The Xayah is very good at trying to avoid those kind of things. You know, he's able to just press R, get out of whatever the big burst is that's coming, i.e. the Echo combo. Or the Varus ult if they're in lane here. Varus ultimate, very annoying ability to deal with, especially also for the Talon, right? Because if Talon can't one-shot him, if he doesn't quite have the facilities to one-shot, then if he eats that Varus ultimate, he's going to die because he is quite squishy, so...
on top getting blind picked here. Okay.
I don't dislike that, considering how badly the set went. I think they're trying to get some priority here, maybe on a different role. So, want to try and prioritize getting a better lane in the bot lane or a better lane in the mid lane. Where I think in the first draft they took the Anivia quite early, right? So with no priority on a mid laner here, they're gonna okay, instead of countering top, they just take Syndra here, so they just blind the Syndra. So I mean, Syndra is definitely a strong blind pick anyway. She's one of those champions where the only thing to truly punish her on is her lack of mobility. So we're gonna have to see what they can actually do with that. And so gotta send some mid bans out as well. I guess they're just gonna try and remove the worst matchups for the Syndra here in the bans to try and make it so that they don't get punished so much. I imagine, do you think Fruitmax is here? Did they look out the support or did they look out top laners? I think they probably take tops out, right?
You've got to take out tops by easily far, because like even if you're not going to try and win through top, it's about reducing that impact top, because you know full well you can win on the other side. So it's just about making the top laner less of an issue. I think Z-Man's going to get such a free lane though. I mean, Mel has been taken out. Then second ban has been put onto Renata, which I think that's horrific. They should have banned another mid laner. The Z-Man, once again, obviously, I've only seen the one game, but I really feel like Z-Man's probably going to run circles around Syndra. So maybe they should have committed another one there. So in total, we've seen 2 support bans and then 2 solo lane bans, which very split focus here. I don't think the support bans were necessarily worth.
No, I think the Nautilus pick here, or the Nautilus ban, I should say. I'm not super at that. Oh, they're leaving it R5 for support here. So interesting that they're happy to take. I mean, I get leaving they know they're going on, so just take the Camille. We can work with that. Wukong here being hovered for Shige in the jungle. It's a very strong pick for sure.
So this is then.
Yeah, seems like it, which I don't dislike. These kind of flex picks are very good at trying to, punish people. I'm sure that when they picked the Syndra, they assumed that the Echo was jungle, right? And I don't think Echo into Syndra is a terrible matchup for either. I think it's quite skill heavy. If Syndra can consistently land her E's, it's quite hard for Echo to get onto her, but Echo's E is a lot shorter of a cooldown than Syndra's E, so not a bad thing here. And then a change of pace for Fruitmaxes. They might take this never mind. Okay, hovered the Enchanter there for a second with the Karma, but they've changed their mind here and they've decided to go for the Poppy.
So minus
another
the
good
Echo,
engage option.
minus the Echo, very similar draft to previous, right? Where you've got this sort of bulky front line for your ADC. And on the other side, we've got Camille Talon that is sort of here to, I guess, to attempt to 2v8, which Camille Talon into like Ornn, Wukong, Poppy, like that is not a good time, right? Like Camille's gonna get in terms of laning phase. Camille's just gonna pop off, right? Camille is probably gonna, you know, go up a bunch of gold, you know, hit the Triforce spike, but then like team fights come around. You've got to go through a Poppy, a Wukong that are just that can so easily deny your hook shot. I'm worried about this Talon and Camille. Like I'm concerned they're not going to be able to 2v8. Echo into Syndra, once again, probably is a very skill expressive matchup, and Z-Man probably will be able to do some heavy lifting here. But surely there's better matchups into Syndra that he could have taken. I felt like he could have asked Shigure to taken this Echo off his hands.
I don't dislike it, no. I think that the Echo, if they can play it correctly, you know, they might be able to punish it.
Okay.
They might be able to punish the Syndra, because Syndra in the early game is very immobile. We saw that Kios here in the mid lane in the last game got his stuff punished aggressively, right? Like he, from the level 1, we saw he got what's the word? He got his flash burnt really quickly. He had to burn through both of his pots. He was having quite a hard time in that early game. So I think if we maybe go here for the kind of cheese Hail of Blades Echo, you know, try and just shit on him in the early game, and yeah, I think they could get some early kills and it could work out for them, but we'll have to see though. I think as a team comp overall, I do still prefer Fruit Maxers. They are very much a front to back team fight comp, right? They have beefy frontliner in Ornn, they have a good bruiser here in Wukong, and the kind of going to be a beefier support as well in the Poppy. They have a lot of tools to be able to kind of control the pace of the fight. They have loads of things that can stop the enemy team in their tracks. Yeah, sorry, I've got an issue with the other game.
Yeah, it's all good.
I'm trying to deal with that. My brain is not built to do this one-track mind thing. I just cannot even focus on people texting me and trying to organize a game. We're having issues with the players. This is the second day in a row. Speaking of, by the way, we haven't dropped it yet, but we will be dropping an announcement within the next 24 hours that we are going to be taking on new moderators to help us run the games while we're trying to run stream, because life is difficult out here. So keep your eye out on the server announcements. They'll be certain there. If you're interested in helping us run the tournament, let us know, and we will definitely be taking on some new folks. But yeah, back on track to the game at hand, what I was trying to talk about before I got so, you know, rudely distracted by Winnie Hut Junior games. I much prefer Fruit Max's team comp. I think that they have loads of ways of dictating the pace of this game. They have Cyclone, they have Call of the Forge God, they have Poppy E, they have Poppy R, they have Varus R, and even worst case scenario, they have all of Echo's abilities are great if you want to sit in a bush and just kind of death bush someone, right? Meanwhile, 5 off roll, they have what, the Talon. If Talon can get on top of one person like the Varus or the Echo, in theory he can one-shot them, right? But he needs to get ahead, and this is kind of the argument we had for the first game, which was, oh, if Viego gets on top of, if Viego does this, if Viego does that, and it just didn't really manifest. And
the thing is, with this Talon, right, like, well, realistically you can only blow up Varus because Echo's always going to have time to react with R, right? Like, if Talon can kill an Echo before Echo can R, then like that, like something bad's happened realistically, right? And so it's just like, I don't know. I'm super curious to see how this Camille's going to perform. The Janna, on the other hand, like, once again, I don't want to give doubt to a player before. I don't want to shoot a player down before we even get into the game. But it's just like, if this Janna was to roam, I feel like there's really good roam potential to get Camille and Talon ahead, which I really think is the win con for this game. Not the champions, but the players. I think there could have been different champions to have done this goal here. Like, I think perhaps a Volley Bear or a Jax or once again the least Renekton. I think there would have been potential there. But we're here with Camille Talon at the moment. I feel like if this Janna gets roams going, which I mean, we did see roams in the first game from said player, but then their bot lane, the Yunara Braum, was very quick to punish.
Yeah.
I don't know. We need to get into game because.
Yeah, no, I agree.
At the moment, I am just super sold on Fruitmax. I am.
I think the Janna, like, I could see the value for the Janna, right? Like, if the Wukong flies in, if the Poppy flies in, if the Varus tries to get like tries to knock anyone down and allow the melees to get in, she just hits her ultimate and blasts everybody out of range, right? Or if Echo flies in with his E or something, you have the ability to get them off your carries. But the problem is that she's super squishy, and with a champion like Poppy, who has a very long stun with her E, if she catches you at the right angle, you just die on Janna. You don't get to press R. You don't get to use the Tempest. You just kind of die. And I don't know if that's what's going to happen here, but I can very much see it happening. If things play out the way they played out in game 1, I think that bot lane will have a very hard time. Especially Varus is a much stronger champion early game than Yunara is. So they're going to have a lot more agency in the early game in this bot lane to be able to actually carve out an advantage for themselves, right? I feel like it would be remiss to say that Fruitmax's bot lane kind of stumbled into a gold lead in game 1. They didn't get any meaningful solo kills from what I can remember. It was kind of just like they just chilled and the enemy bot lane didn't get anything. Like, they were playing the weak side and they weak-sided for 15 minutes and then they were just way stronger because they missed less CS and they didn't get killed or punished, so they got to play their game once they had items. Whereas now they are the kill lane. They are the lane that can punish really aggressively, especially if this is like a lethality Varus. His ability to poke people from like an entire screen away. Seeing the mechanics Alicento had in that first game, I have no doubt that he'll be able to land some really long range Qs, and be able to punish the Xayah and the Janna from miles away. But again, they have two of the best disengaged bot laners in the game, in the Janna and the Xayah, so it's going to be hard for them to maybe finish things off, right? They might have lane control, but we have a very good weak side team here in Xayah and in Janna to be able to try and, stem the bleeding. Hopefully we might lose CS, we might lose lane prio, but we will not die, hopefully. And then, once we include the junglers here, when we include the Talon, when we include the Wukong, if Talon can get that priority bot lane, if he can find those ganks. Talon is very similar to a Zac in the sense that he can kind of avoid the common warning spots by using his E. So, he might be able to find some creative ways to get in behind the Poppy, behind the Varus, and I think when he has free access to the Varus, I think the Varus should be free money. But yeah, I don't know how much longer have we got until we actually get into the game, Aaron. It's been a long ass spectator delay. Okay, not long. Nice. Have we got the predictions up yet? I don't actually. Yeah, we do. Yeah. Nice. It's looking favored for Fruitmaxes right now, to the surprise of probably no one. But yeah, we'll see. I think Camille, what's the Camille Ornn matchup like? Because in my head, I'm like, Ornn is one of those champions that you can weak side forever and it doesn't matter. He's very hard to like really kick out of the game. Like, he's low economy anyway, and then also very hard to bully because he's immune to CC with his W. He can farm from far away with his Q. He has a dash to get himself out of trouble if they ever jump on him. But Camille is also one of those champions that's quite strong. When she gets a Triforce, when she gets her item, she can really pop basically anyone. But yeah, I think Camille, hopefully we'll see some kind of strong laning here by Sun. We saw him dominate in game 1, but the thing is, like I mentioned earlier, I think that his Cassante performance is not indicative of his performance in top lane in general. I think his Cassante is cracked, but like the rest of the champions we saw him play top were not as insane, so I assume we will see a dip in quality here on the Camille. But if Shige decides to path the same way that he did last time, Camille is a little bit more susceptible than the Cassante was to those ganks, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. And there we go. We are finally in game, boys. We made it.
And let's have a look. Anything weird in Keystones? Everything is looking minus Syndra. Everything's looking pretty. Oh no, sorry, minus Syndra and Janna.
Oh, I don't dislike the Comet. The Comet for the Rex here. Yeah, so Comet here on Janna. Janna's probably going to start W and look to really aggressively trade with that W. So her W gives her passive move speed, and it's also quite a large range point and click CC ability. So it's just a slow, but it applies damage. And, you know, much like if anybody's played top lane against like a Malphite, you know how it is where if you get hit by his Q, which slows, it's much harder for you to dodge the Arcane Comet. And there we see it begins here onto the Poppy. So as soon as her Comet is back up, she's more than likely going to be using that off cooldown to try and bully Poppy out of the lane, make it harder for her to be able to trade. I also want to mention, we didn't talk about it in Champ Select, but they have got their official support here. So 24 cans of beer is out, and the Rex Lol is back in, their substitute support player. So we saw Rex last week play, I believe it was Emilio, to fairly good success. So he's definitely versed on these enchanters. But I still give the lane, even with that amendment, to Alicento and Paper Knight. I think that they should win that fairly handily. So yeah, you mentioned the electrocute here for Kios on the Syndra. So looking for early trades, right? That's kind of what that's going to be for. I think usually, is it not usually Comet or
it's
is it usually Phase
First Strike at the moment.
Oh, First Strike. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just to help you sort of like get to those massive item spikes faster. As Syndra, you're not a hyper carry, but you do scale well, basically. That's what you'll see very often. At the moment, small CS leads in typical where we was originally believing it was going to be. Yeah, this game is not looking too promising. I mean, well, saying that, it's still early, it's still even goal, but we've got junglers on the opposite sides again. Oh, Poppy's a little bit overextended here.
Ooh, I don't like the use of that heal, but it does get them first blood though. So okay, the aggressive use of heal for the movement speed actually works out for the side of TB Forecast and the Rex. Gonna punish Paper Knight while Alicento was on a base. So
absolute rundown potential. Speaking of rundown potential, one auto not gonna do it.
Oh, okay, Big E coming out. Wukong is hovering, Shige is there, but so is Cold Knife, and they're looking for something, but don't quite know if they're gonna actually land it. And then we just go back to some regular laning here. I think both junglers are still hovering that mid lane here. Look at where Talon is basing. Talon is basing in such a place that if something happens mid, he can stop the base and just jump over the wall. But it looks like they do, because we saw the ping.
There was a bit more to that. So if you start Raptors, by the time you finish Grom, those Raptors will actually be quite close to spawning. So Talon was actually just ready to nab them again, and he did this as Viego beforehand as well. This is something I'm actually going to take a note of and start doing in my personal game, because that is just a really great punish. But usually people who start on Raptors are normally there.
Aggressive flash there by the Rex. I genuinely don't know, but it does actually somehow keep TB forecast safe there, so we take those.
I think he flashed Jude.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think that might have been the play there.
Okay, that was. I mean, Ignite still had Ignite.
Yeah, I mean, that is both flashes down here for the side off 5 off roll, so they are probably gonna have a hard time in the next 5 minutes. We know once that Shige gets the ultimate, once he has Cyclone, he's gonna probably be pathing there because he will get it before their flashes are back up, so he's only 1 level away. In fact, what? Oh yeah, pretty much a full level to be fair. He hasn't got quite that much XP right now, but level 6 is coming out in the solo lanes. Interesting immediate ult there by Z-Man. I think he might have been worried that the Syndra ult was coming out. I thought he might be able to bait it, but Kios holds the line, and now for the next minute and a half, if he does choose to all in on the Echo does not have the time warp here. What was it? The Chrono Break, right? I think it's called.
Chrono Break, yeah. We're seeing mid lanes actually very even here. Which
yeah, much less oppressive now that he's off of the Anivia, which I did kind of anticipate. The Anivia was something that they struggled to deal with immensely. It's a Z-Man pocket pick. Now that he's not on it anymore, it's less good, or he seems less good, I should say. But equally, the same can be said here in the top side. There's only a little bit of a CS lead here for the Camille. Drake has been started here by Cold Knife, but he is very, very low in HP. So if the Fruit Maxers decide to engage on it, they might find themselves a quick kill. But the Drake's going to go over with no contest. Ping's coming out by, I believe, Shige to go for that crab there. Now that he knows where the Talon is.
I mean, we've seen this Camille take over, and this is really beautiful to see, because once again, we're not really seeing Camille at the moment, and so this is just a really sort of like niche champion doing really well, which, you know, when Camille gets Triforce, this Camille's going to completely run over this lane. Now, the only thing is, when she gets Triforce, she should run over this lane and then just start 1v2 in. Like, Camille does have great pick potential. I mean, but hopefully they'll be able to play more to the champions' game plan. At the bottom, we are seeing Varus with a CS lead, and we've seen Varus going for the lethality addition here with Comet, with going into what appears to be Muramane, the lethality item.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought that Ornn was about to E that. I was about to say, don't do that, you will die.
Yeah, literally. I mean, he might die here just to try to get the wards. Yeah, big chunk of his HP is going to go down. He has to E away. And yeah, now he has to base. He doesn't even have TP, so he's going to lose at least 1 wave here. Shige going to come in with the flash there. Ooh. Immediate E by Kios was actually big. The fact that E caught both of them, not going to lie, the hitbox there kind of looked a little bullshit. But
that really, you know what? Did.
It did, didn't it? It looked like it didn't hit the Wukong at all. Bit of pressure here by Kios. They're trying to punish the Echo. The Echo's going to try and get a base in. No, doesn't seem to know that Wukong is still nearby though. So Wukong didn't actually pop Cyclone. He popped Flash to try and get in, but then got caught by the Syndra E. And so he does still have ultimate. He could still try something here. It doesn't seem to be the case though. He's going to go straight back to his camps. But while he's wasting all this time hovering mid, Cold Knife is going to go and get the grubs completely for free. So he's ahead on CS, he's ahead on tempo, and he's ahead on these neutral objectives as well. These are going to be 2 free neutrals for them. So very clean early play here by Cold Knife to get himself ahead, get himself the gold lead, the XP lead as well. He's got about a full level on Shige, or it's more like 80% of a level. But, you know, with where the thresholds are, that's what matters, you know. You could be 99.9% of a level above someone, but if it doesn't mean you're actually a level above them, you know, if you're both level 6, you're both level 6. Doesn't matter if you're at 99.9% of the way to 7 and they're at 0%. Statistics-wise, you know, you're like, in terms of the AD and the armor and all of your other stats, your HP, you are both level 6. And, you know, in this instance here, Cold Knife definitely has the growth, but ooh, okay, there we see Chrono Bait comes out just to bait out the on. Oh, the sheer damage on that Q there by the Varus. The arrow comes out, and from under the turret we see TB Forecast go down, and this is what we were worried about when we saw the poke Varus come out. A little over aggression here by the Poppy, but it looks like it might be working out for them. It looks like Cold Knife might die, but he has to flash into the Tempest there by Janna to get some healing and kind of keep himself safe. But yeah, weird little play there, if I'm being honest, because at first it looked like Paper Knight was inting, and then by the end of it, it kind of looked like Cold Knife was inting. So, but at the end of it, both of them get to walk away. No harm, no foul. And back to the clearing for the Talon, and Echo's looking to maybe dive here. Wukong is alongside, but he sees the Talon, and they're gonna just kind of call it there. Wukong is falling quite heavily behind here. His entire bot side quadrant is up, so he has stuff to farm if he wants to go to it, but really wants to make sure that his presence is felt in the lanes right now, as opposed to trying to just keep the farm up. And top lane as well, equal on CS here, but about 100 gold in the lead for the Ornn from passive income here. I think it's the one plate he's gotten, isn't it? Yeah, I think nice little trading there in the bot lane. There is a TP here coming out by, I think, Echo. So they're looking to maybe do a 3v2 here. They're looking to maybe try the dive. We see the Echo W is going to come out. Ult comes out immediately by Xayah to keep herself safe. She doesn't have a ton of HP here, though, so they could maybe try something. Looks like they're gonna fall back. I mean, we've seen Alicento do this before. He might do the same thing again. He might just charge that Q and just decimate the Xayah. She doesn't have the ultimate anymore, so what she's got is the barrier at this point to try and keep herself safe.
Varus does have Chain of Corruption as well. This could be a possible pick as well.
Oh, the E is gonna hit. Oh no, Talon has to die here, surely. All of his mobility just got completely hijacked. Meanwhile, top lane, okay, there we go. Sun is going to pick himself up a solo kill. A little bit of over-aggression by Curse of Ra. He started that... forgive me, but am I not right in saying that he was 100% HP and Sun was about the current HP that he's on? And just from repeatedly ramming the waves into the turret and taking trades under turret, he just got himself killed. Yes. That is essentially what happened there, right?
Yeah. Once again, this is the power of Sheen Camille. Like Sheen champions like Ezreal, like GP, like Camille. When they hit Sheen, it's such a bigger power spike than you'd think. Like Sheen is almost like half of an item for these champions. It's very similar to what we see with like Vampiric Scepter on Aurelia or Soraya Dirt on Diana. And once again, this is so beautiful. Look at the Talon interrupt. Boom! That Talon interrupt was huge. Then with the follow-up ultimate while he's invisible. My God! And then here we see this
Paper Knight said he is not getting away. So yeah, here this is the fight that we see how Curse of Ra threw the little lead that he had gained. And he tanked 2 turret shots for literally no reason. Not good.
The real big equalizer there.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Chrono Break aggressively here. Kios is going to get popped. And that is very clean gameplay by the Echo. 1.5k gold lead here for Fruit Maxers as we reach close to 15 minutes. And unlike the last game where we had leads in some places 4-5 off roll, this game there are no meaningful leads. We got 1.2k lead for the Echo, but everybody else is, you know, all the positive bits for 5 off roll are within a kill's worth of gold. Now we got what, 300, 400, 117, like kind of negligible in that respect. And oh, we see a dive here. TP is going to come out by Syndra to try and keep TB Forecast safe. It is now a 3v3, but they missed the E there onto the Wukong. Good little couple damaging orbs come out by the Syndra, but not quite enough to kill anyone, just enough to scare away the Wukong. And
so look at top side, sorry, just like Talon is doing a good job of like stealing these camps. I think this one's gonna be dead soon.
Oh, 100%. There's no way he lives this, surely. Yeah, nice. Cold Knife's going to take that. But on the other side of the map, we see the bot lane of Alicento and Paper Knight immediately punish TB Forecast and the Rex. So the Xayah had based, and for some reason, the Rex was still there, and he ends up getting caught out. And that's just another kill hit onto the Varus. Varus is crafting a very decent lead for himself. He's got a 45 CS lead and 2 kills. You know, the Yumu's Ghostblade is done. His tier is not quite fully stacked, but he's getting there. And now, as quickly as you mentioned the fact that the Talon is counter jungling heavily, now Shige gets the counter jungle on the bot side, right? Talon's trying to kill this Echo, but I don't think he can. And now he's maybe about to get sandwiched. Wukong is going to commit here. We're going to see Echo fly in. Echo gets the kill. Third kill of the game as well.
Was the Wolf Wall on cooldown for Talon there? Like, that was... I mean, we
I'm
can't
not entirely sure. Yeah, we can't see it as a spectator, but that's something really that maybe bizarre, we can find out through Aaron. But yeah, he did just kind of end up standing there a little bit. If he could have E'd over the wall, I think he would have gotten away. But one thing I want to say as well is this Dusk and Dawn build on Echo is ridiculous, because obviously we all know these champions love, like, all of these 3-hit passive champions, right? Like with Dusk and Dawn, their 3-hit passives are now 2-hit passives. It's something, their burst has now been, even if it's not, I think it is OP, but even if it weren't, right? Even if numerically speaking it wasn't like busted, just the play pattern change of being like, I need to be worried about the 3rd hit, I need to be worried about the 3rd hit changing now. So like the public kind of perception, there's like a, what's what I'm looking for here, like kind of almost like a Mandela effect type thing, where you think it's X but it's actually Y. Now that it's, they get their full damage on 2 hits, you know, it's causing a lot of issues where people are getting caught off guard where normally they wouldn't. But yeah, on the replay there, they just easily get the kill. And now we see bot lane, we have 4 members deep here, 4 Fruit Maxers looking to try and punish TB Forecast. He does get a 2-man root, but it's just not enough. And then that's the 4th kill here, double kill for Alicento on this Varus, and he is looking really strong right now.
So like, well, it's similar to last game, but the only thing is Cold Knife is not, he doesn't have as much as a huge lead as before, right? So right now this looks just perfectly set up for FMX.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Jungle has been kind of neutralized in this game. He's only been a part of 1 of their 3 kills. In fact, actually, the Poppy made it so that he's actually having a really hard time even ganking bot. Like, Varus is the one guy that we know that the Talon can definitely one-shot, but he can't one-shot him if Poppy's nearby him, because Poppy just uses steadfast presence, and now he can't move in. You know, if he, as soon as he commits his movement abilities, like his ultimate or his dash, over a wall, we just see Poppy W, and then now he doesn't get to be a champion anymore. You know, his prime defining feature just gets removed. And oh, okay, here we're gonna go for the replay to see quite how that double kill for Alicento came about. So we have Echo just on the Janna, running through her. She does hit the Tempest, but now as she's channeling Tempest, she just a sitting duck for the Chains of Corruption. And yeah, Xayah here can't really path towards the team, but there's nowhere safe for her to go. She's trying to just hit the Wukong and kite, but not much else can be done. And then yeah, Echo here, gotta pick up the solo kill, I believe. Just no damage off of the Syndra, or not enough damage, I should say, to really deal with the Echo at this point, who does have, I think, a 2-level lead. He is very ahead right now. And then, oh no! God damn. Alicento is what I meant to say. Just immediately pops TB Forecast there with the arrow from downtown. 5-0-1 right now on this Varus. And here they're gonna try and 2-man the Camille, and I think they might be able to. Steadfast Presence comes out, but the Ignite is, oh no, the Ignite has stopped ticking. It was
He's got
used, but
flash,
he's actually
probably
able to
on
get
the.
out.
Yeah, there we go.
That was a quick flash there. He gets out. Really big there though for Sun, not dying in that instance. He's the only person on his team with a gold lead, and I think as we get to these later stages of the game, you know, we get to 20 to 25 minutes, his job once he finishes what I'm assuming will be a Ravenous Hydra here is gonna be to be a side lane threat, right? Like he's gonna try and pull as many people to him as he can so that his team hopefully can win the numbers advantage team fights, right? And so at this point, I think this is where you look to do, you know, or maybe you catch the squishies with the Talon in the transitional period between them trying to get to the side lanes.
I love how you say that as the Talon gets caught. Like...
Literally, yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, catch people as they're transitioning between lanes. Never mind, Poppy's here. You ain't doing nothing. Syndra gonna steal away the blue.
Like this is the interesting thing, right? So if we look at this from 5 off-roll's perspective, it's just like, how do you come back into this game? And realistically, the best way to come back is first of all not to eat a Varus ult that chunks out 2 players, but like,
god damn,
yeah,
his Varus damage is crazy.
He's 5-0. He should be. Like, you need to find the value with Xayah and Janna, right? You need to find the value of practically burning everything on them, and then they still survive, or they still deny with their ultimates, right? And like, Camille has done the best that she can, but unfortunately, Camille, if you're not a god, you're not carrying. Like, we saw this in the Cassante game.
Oh, they finally do get the shutdown here onto the Varus, though. That is big. And they're going to try and run down the Poppy, so I think that's probably like a 1,000 gold shutdown there onto Syndra, which is much needed gold right now. And in the meantime, though, it is a trade because they do end up taking the tier 2 bot and getting a kill onto the Camille. But so I think it's still big, still worth.
Here's the thing, right? Like, that shutdown, it went on to Syndra, and like, this is the problem, unfortunately, inherently with champions like Syndra, like Talon. Their job is to kill one person very, very hard, right? And it's just like, you're behind, and it's just like, look at the enemy champions you're trying to kill. Are you going to kill an Ornn? No. Are you going to kill a Wukong? No. Are you going to kill an Echo? If you CC him, yeah. But then he still has R, right? Like, once again, if you don't one-tap him, he's gonna press R and he'll be fine. And then, once again, there's a Poppy, which if you're banning something on a support, unfortunately, you've just lost, right? So, and then all of that, and then you've got to go through all of these champions to get to the 5-1 Varus, who is 3 items Boots of Swiftness. Like, this Varus feels very safe. This Varus does not know what danger is, unless
not to mention the fact he's also built Edge of Night, by the way. So he's even got a spell shield, which means that whatever the Syndra tries to throw at him, it's gonna be mitigated here. And oh, okay, we see a little bit of an engage here come out onto the Talon. There's nowhere for him to go here, so I think he's definitely gonna die. And Curse of Ra there is gonna pick himself up that kill. And that is the 4th death here for Talon. We're seeing the Cold Knife is really struggling here in this game to really get his footing. There's no targets for him to really be able to kill effectively, right? Like you mentioned, how do you kill the Ornn? How do you kill the Wukong? Wukong is beefy as hell with his passive. It's hard for the Talon to really shred him. And now with Talon dead, they get free reign over this Baron bit. And we see Camille does drop the Warden so that they can try and see what's going on there, but I don't think anyone's going to even try to contest it. They're just going to leave that one be.
This is a repeat of last game, but Shihei is not horrendously far behind, right? Well, I would say, I don't know why I'm saying horrendously. He was only like 1/3 of an item behind, right? Where now he's at the moment he's bang on even, but the moment he recalls and spends his gold, he's probably got a 3rd completed item and probably gonna be able to keep up with the Varus there. Meanwhile, it's just like the best hope that you have on 5 off roll is your Camille. And it's just like Camille's trying to kill the Ornn, but like someone shows up and then just puts the Camille in her place, right? Like neutralizing that lead, and then just it leads to the kill beforehand. Right now, it looks like they're just gonna start sieging the top tower.
Yeah, they were hoping that Sun would stay on the wave so that they could foreman him. But luckily, he seemed to know. I think they might have vision of that area, so he saw the people moving up and was able to kind of pull himself out before anything too tragic really happened. And he is going to get himself out to safety. But the flash E onto TV forecast. I think he's going to die. He flashes out. Echo gets dragged into the base with the E to try and get onto him. Oh, Chains of Corruption. This is probably game. I think.
Yeah, it is.
If more people die here, there's nothing you can do. Talon is going to try and walk. Talon has to walk out of his base to safety right now. That is so crazy when you think about it. They have the Baron buff as well. What can you even do here? I think it's cooked.
I mean, death timers are low. You've got Xayah back up soon. So they're probably just going to take an inhib and leave. But like,
yeah, we can see Poppy has decided to just chase down the Talon. I think she might be able to low-key solo him. That is crazy. But she's level 11 right now, and she has the damage just with the base damage in her kit to just smoke the Talon. And yeah, you're right. They do choose to base here instead of trying to take any more kind of grievances here. You know, they're gonna walk out with a bunch of cash. You can see they're gonna finish off some items. We see the Thorn Mail finished for the top lane. Rabadon's Death Cap, which has also been upgraded by Ornn, is finished here for the Echo, and Varus just pops another one. Just immediate death there for the Rex. He is not having a good time right now. And with this second Baron wave, they're going to be able to crack into the tier 3 mid lane. And Poppy is moving, but I don't think she's going to be able to lock anybody down here. They get the inhibitor for free. It is now a 4v4 because I think we're missing the Wukong, but Talon loses half his health just for being on the same screen as the Echo. And it is, yeah, it's looking really rough. And Curse of Ra just walks into the turret for like, are we taking this one? We taking this one? I'll take a turret shot, I don't mind. This is where we are in this game right now. 13.3k gold lead for Fruit Maxes. They are going to crack on these Nexus turrets. This is going to be the last hope that the enemy team have. Do 5 off-roll have enough to really stop this? But no, I don't think they do. That one Varus Q came through and just smoked the Syndra and the Rex here on the Janna as well. So what, like, they have to base, they have to heal up, and in that time their waves go. And when their waves are gone, now the minions crash. Luckily for them, the Baron has expired, but I don't think it makes too much of a difference here. It's becoming a little bit of a dance because they have no inhibs left. And they haven't got the best wave clear either. They lose a turret. Echo may be looking to stun someone up here. Doesn't actually catch anybody, but it doesn't matter because under the Nexus turrets, we get 3 quick kills, and now even the Syndra flashes out, but I don't think he's going to be that safe, especially with TV forecast going down. And now they're just committing. They commit to the fountain dive, and they get it. And 25-5 at the end of it, 16.9k gold lead. Fruit Maxers kind of put 5 off-roll on a t-shirt there. I'm not gonna lie. That last game was a disrespectful affair, in my opinion.
Like,
game 1 had a little bit of life, but
yeah. This is, once again, this is like a really big issue in these best of series, because it's just like, once again, the first game was super close, right? And like, you can watch the first game and you can see the tilt happening to Viego and Cassante in real time, and then you go into this game and you see that Talon just completely drops the ball, and Camille's trying to stay locked in, but it's just like, look at the damage, man. Like, Varus has done 30k. Like, that's more than any 2 people combined on their side, right? Like, the Ornn has done more damage than the Xayah, which is just like, brother, like the Poppy's almost contesting Xayah. Like, she is.
Yeah, no, she is. She's only, what, 900 damage away? No? Oh, sorry, no, 1.1k. But she is closer in damage to the Syndra than Syndra is to the Echo, right? Like, it's kind of crazy. And again, we see again here, Sun has the most damage on his team. He's trying his best out here. I respect it. The only lane there that actually got a lead in that game. But yeah, I think the gap in the bot lane and the mid lane was a little too big, and they struggled to really find any meaningful purchase in that game. But either way, that is gonna confirm for us that the two teams that are making it out of Group B here are Fruit Maxers and Dillamond Esports. So commiserations to 5 off roll, commiserations to Jazz with Gas. They will face each other next week, but it will only be for the 3rd place in their group. Essentially, it will be to decide who goes winless and who goes 3rd place. And then in week 3 we will have Fruit Maxers and Dillamond will face for 1st place, so it'll be who goes lossless and who goes 2nd seed. But we will have to see. We'll have to see what bodes for us there. Aaron, do we have an interview? Do you know? No, I know that Fruit Maxers are asking. That's why I tagged you in the thread. So if you want to do an interview, we can get someone on. But yeah, all right, sweet. For anyone in Fruit Maxers who wants to do the interview, make yourselves known to us, and we'll send you a link.
While that's going on, gentlemen, sorry, I'm not feeling too well, so I'm actually gonna dip out here. Thank you
no worries.
So much for having me,
we appreciate
guys.
the cost.
Yeah, it was such a lovely run. I really appreciate it, guys.
All good, dude. All right, no worries. You can bow out, and I think we're gonna have the top laner, Curse of Ra from Fruit Maxers, join us on the interview, so that should be fun.
Fantastic. Take care, gentlemen.
No worries, man. Peace. But yeah, Aaron, how are you feeling about the series? Quick one, not too bad.
Yeah, quick one. Definitely a quick one. You guys were saying, the first game was a lot more competitive, especially if you look at the gold difference. From the first game, what was it, 5 off roll? They were coming back to it about in the mid game, but then it snowballed out. Whereas this game is the complete opposite. It was just a straight up stomp.
Yeah, no, agreed.
That Varus, that on hit lethality was disgusting. And
yeah, no, for sure.
Echo was also disgusting. It just
no, I agree with you.
Yeah, there's not much more to say. I know there was so this is inside information. Before there was discussion before the second game of like, how is the Fruit Maxers, how is this team even here? Because
right, fair.
Yeah, because 5 off roll, because they lost that first game, and it was like, well, it's because of the fact that there's some of the players are playing off meta. Oh, not off meta, off roll.
Yeah, off roll. Yeah.
So whereas they would have been, if they picked
the math does check out, but they are capped out for points. Yeah. But anyway, while you get Misco ready for the interview, I guess I'll cover that just in case there is any issues. So essentially, not 5 off roll. Fruit Maxers are a legal roster, even though they are very capped out on points. They are one of the more dangerous teams in the bracket for sure. With how the point calculation worked, their original master player is supposed to be Lefterus. He peaked 55 LP master last season, so he does count as 11 points, similar to how Alicento is right now. I can't remember exactly where Alicento peaked, but it was below 150 LP master, so they are worth 11 points, as is, say for example, Cold Knife, who is, I think he peaked 5 LP master, but it's still master, so he's still 11 points. And then Paper Knight was a low diamond, so he's 9. Z-Man was a diamond 4 peaker, but only playing jungle, so we dropped him down to low emerald for off-roll. So he's a 7 point, and then Misco is worth 6 because he was gold last season, but having his performance be as good as it was in the last split, he was bumped up. So yeah, and then Shige 7 points. He was also, I think, emerald 3 peak. So their team is legal, but they capped out at exactly 40 points. So definitely one of the more deadly teams in this bracket, one of the teams to watch. But either way, are we good? All right, sweet. We have top lane guy who just got hard carried 2 games back to back.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, Cursor, bro.
Yeah.
The weak side king.
Weak side warrior, exactly. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, team was like, you can play first game. I said pick me Zachen. Team didn't like blending Zachen, which, to be honest, from experience, I can agree. We played the custom recently. I played it to Cannon. Didn't go with at all. So I'm like, just pick me set. They picked Cassante. From what I know, it's not a great matchup, so I just kind of got stumped. Did my job though, just pushed towers. Sadly.
Yeah.
And then,
there were multiple instances in that first game where it was kind of illegal. Like, they just didn't match you at certain points, and so you were able to get like 2 to 3 free turrets. Like, I swear to God, I thought that the bot tier 2 was up at like decent HP, and they just didn't move to you because they were too busy trying to fight topside. And then you were like cracking on the inhibitor, and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I guess
they said damage on turrets goes crazy.
Yeah, for real. That's the only damage that counts, low key. Damage to champions is overrated. Damage to objectives. That's where it's at.
If I want Zachen, you want Timo. That's true. Swapping Zachen, I guess.
Grim. That would have been
game 2,
so
game
gross.
2 it was just orange duty, right? So just full tank, ult, and let the team carry you.
Survive the lane. Yeah, just survive the lane and let the team carry. And the team did carry. You know, Alicento on that bot lane looks really clean. I think the question for me, obviously knowing that it's us facing each other next week, is do we know is it going to be Alicento or Lefteris in the week?
We have no idea. We don't even know. From what I know, both Zeman and Alicento will have a busy week. I have no idea where Lefteris is. So, yeah, zero clue.
So it's cooked. Nice.
Yeah, probably.
Good to know. Oh yeah, we're for some reason we're just super busy on that day that you said that they're all available.
Yeah, unlucky.
I
do feel like
guess we
game
have to
2 though. Game 2, I feel like 5 overall just outdrafted themselves. Like,
I think Talon is really hard to play in comp.
Yeah, and from our point of view, when we first picked Echo, it was always gonna be Echo mid. I mean, yeah, we could have flexed it if it was a good matchup, but like, it was always gonna be Echo mid. And we first picked Echo, we first picked Diana, AP, like on hit champs. This moment, that's just kind of disgusting.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that anything that can first build like what Dusk and Dawn, basically just stupidly OP right now. So
yeah, absolutely disgusting.
For sure, that Diana pick in game 1 wasn't as effective until we got to like, I don't know, what, maybe 20 minutes or something. Like once he had 2 items, then you could see in the team fights just how strong Shige was on the Diana. But like in the early game, didn't really pop off like you would have hoped. But the Echo handily won lane in game 2. They look very clean with it. So it'll be interesting to see as we move towards week 3 how the roster shapes up for that third game. Going to be the decider for first place in Group B. Should be interesting.
All I'm saying is that we're probably gonna win anyways. Not to like flame you guys.
Oh, we'll see. How it goes.
If I'm against Torona, it's gonna be the freest lane of my life. All I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Little trust.
Oh, that's not what happened in Fearless last season, bro. You got fucking.
In Fearless, I got camp.
Back to back.
Doesn't matter.
Nah.
I got camp.
Back to back deaths when he played Lissandra mid. I remember it.
Yeah, but like, okay, we'll see on the Rift.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But no, we're aware our work is probably cut out for us against that team. I think our hopes are, if you guys play Lefteris, then the Gig needs to lock the fuck in. Because
if I'm top lane,
that is gonna be rough for him.
But yeah, if you're top lane, I think you should have okay.
Yeah. You guys chilling.
I think it's a weird one, because if you guys play with Alicento, then we have to change our entire plans, right? Like if it's Lefterist, then we need to be worried about strong side top. But if it's the other way around, then we need to be worried about strong side bot, and you're just going to be playing like tanks. So gonna have to see how it works out. But yeah, any last words you want to get out before we cut the broadcast?
That should be all, I think. MVP Zeman. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
On Echo, yeah, probably. Yeah, I think that's valid.
I have a question.
Oh, go for it.
Why do you have this slideshow preloaded, ready to go?
I mean, why not?
What like places are you joining where you have to show this?
Fearless last season actually on casting.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And is it just
had it ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my goat, Yamato's death.
All right, fair.
The one and only.
That's the only question I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. If that's everything, thank you for jumping on the desk there. I think we're gonna cut it. We were talking about doing the VODs, but considering it's gonna just be a solo cast, and I'm not feeling super healthy right now, I think we're probably gonna cut it. Just we might try and get that stream done later. Otherwise, next official broadcast should be on Thursday. Although no games are currently scheduled for that day, but I'm sure, you know, week 3 pairings will go out in the next 24 hours or so. So there will be games. If not, we will be doing VODs, but you know, there is tons of content for us to get out. There are 5 series happening tomorrow, so if anybody does want to do third-party streams, let us know, and we're happy to boost you guys. From 1 p.m. we have Goon City versus Pagans. From 3 p.m. we have Gromp Support Group versus Mobile Warfare. From 4 p.m. we have Team Zenith versus Rift Police. And then we have from 7:30 is Cutter's Piggies versus Dark Lords Omega Squad. It'll be Cutter's Piggies' first game of the entire tournament. And then from 8 p.m. we have Aberdeen Clearing versus Blue Bearded Man, and Good Chimps versus Should Have Picked Us. So stacked today. No official broadcast, unfortunately, but there will be hopefully some third-party streams going. So we will post those as soon as we know about them, and we hope to see all of you guys on the next official stream on Thursday. Peace.
See ya.